All right, so today we're going to be doing some Adobe Animate. I'm going to go ahead and open Adobe Animate, and then we're going to go over the directions. So I'm going to go to my Start window, and then I'm going to go to my A's, my Adobe, and there's my Adobe Animate CC 2018. So I'm going to open up that. While we wait for that, I'm going to go over what I'm going to do. Today we're using Adobe Animate CC to create a stick figure, draw a green triangle, a red circle, and a blue square, and type our name. And then we do not need to animate the stick figure, and we're going to create a file new, ActionScript 3.0 file with the width of 550 pixels by a height of 400 pixels. We're going to export that file as a PNG, as a PNG file, and we're going to name it our last name hyphen or underscore first name hyphen stick, and then we're going to turn it into the Google Cloud. All right, it's Google Classroom. All right, so let's go over here. So on the splash screen that came up with Adobe Animate is that it's already shown me different options for create new. I can make an HTML5 area, a WebGL, an ActionScript. Air files are the ones that go on smartphones. I can do other ActionScript files as well as like a JavaScript file or a JavaScript Flash file. We're going to go with create new ActionScript 3.0. Okay, ActionScript is a programming language that's used inside of Animate. It's very similar to JavaScript and in Java. But it's specific to Animate. But we're going to create this one even though we're not doing any coding. It defaults to the 550 by the 400. If you go to File New, it also shows you File New that you can choose from those same setups, ActionScript 3.0, and you can adjust your width and your height there. You can decide if you want pixels or another measurement tool. You can choose your frames per second for your frame rate, a basic background color as well. You can always change your frame rate within Animate, and you can also change your background color from Animate. So we've already got this one. Well, let's go ahead and we'll create new again. And so what this does is that just like the other Adobe products is that it uses a tab system. And so you can interchange, you can move your tabs around. Okay, and so we're going to be working with Untitled 1. Let's go ahead and save that real quick. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to call it Louis hyphen or underscore James hyphen stick. Okay, right now it's saving it as a .fla file. A .fla is a Flash project file. It only opens in Adobe Animate. Adobe Animate used to be called Adobe Flash. Actually, it was Flash Professional, and you use that to make your Flash files. But they changed the name to Animate. We've got our different drop-down menus, very similar to the Adobe products. And so we can always go to like our window if our view gets kind of screwed up. It's like we can bring our toolbars, we can bring our different windows or different panes back up if we get them lost. Okay. Okay. So we have our workspace. Down here we have our timeline. We got a little bitty red scrubbing bar. Right now it's not going anywhere because we only got one keyframe. The way that Adobe Animate works is that you do your art on frames, and we have some frames down here. It counts 1, then it goes to 5, then it goes to 10, and in between you can see the little squares in between, or the rectangles. Those are different frames. Because where's our frame rate posted? I think our frame rate right here. So our frame rate right now is 24.00 frames per second. And so it shows us right here as 1. Okay, so 1 second, that is going to be 24 frames. Okay, and so 24 frames is 1 second. So 2 seconds, that's 48 frames. Okay, and so that's that's how we can remember that. Okay, so we're coming back here to keyframe number 1. Okay, keyframe means that we're going to have some data in it. Over here on the right hand side, we've got some basic information. We got the properties, and the properties right now are set to this keyframe. But if I click in our workspace, then the properties are going to change to the properties for this workspace. See right here, it's like I can change the color of my stage. We'll go ahead and change it to let's go to a light yellow. There we go, to a light yellow. Again, we can change the size of our frame if we need to. Okay, in our script, we're not doing any coding, but there is a difference between ActionScript 3.0 and ActionScript 2.0. A library is where you're going to import different objects being, or elements being pictures, graphics, video, or even music or sound. Okay, and it brings it into the library, and then from the library you drag it out to the stage. This area that we're working on is a stage. This area that's around it is off stage. So let's go back to properties. We've got our tools over here, a little bit different than Photoshop and Illustrator, to where the tools are over here on the left. Okay, and so, but over here, the tools are on the right. You can always pull it out if it bothers you, and you can move it over. There's a way to snap it in place. That kind of did it. Okay, so there's a way for you to move that over. Now, let's see if we can get it back. Workspaces. We're going to go to Essentials. There we go. And we want to try to reset in Workspaces. We want to reset. So we're going to reset Essentials. And bam, so we reset. So remember, it's Window. The Workspaces is down at the bottom. Adobe, Illustrator, and Photoshop, it's at the top. And you can choose your different type of tool sets that you want to use, and you can always reset it. So I just reset it, so it's over here. All right, so let's go back and look at our list. So the first thing is we need to create a stick figure. So I'm just going to draw it. I'm just going to get the pencil. Left click and hold doesn't open anything up. It's got to have a little triangle in it in order to open something up. So I left click and hold, and there I've got my options. Okay, left click and hold, and I've got my options. So we're going to go back to the pencil. My pencil right now is, it looks like it's blue. Okay, and so we're going to change the fill color. Let's go ahead and we're going to make it black. And let's draw a little stick figure. So I got my stick figure, and boing, boing, boing. You know, back in the good old days before I shaved my beard, let's give me a little beard. We'll make it orange. Okay, and there we go. You can give it some hair if you want. And so I'll give it over here. Okay, we'll do 1 or 2 right here just to show. Or maybe 3. Okay, there we go. So I got my stick figure. Okay, so the next thing I need to have is a green triangle. So now we're going to go to some shapes. Okay, a triangle is a polygon, polystar. So we're going to see how we can get it out. We're going to click once. Nope. We're going to left click and hold. And I think, is it the Alt key? Nope. Oh, left click and hold. Nope. So we're going to Control Z. Remember, you got your edit undo. Okay. Let's see. We want to get some controls. We want to control how many sides our polystar has. Let's see. Fill in stroke. Stroke. That's, remember, stroke is your outline. Style. Okay. That's going to determine what our dashes are going to look like. You know, width. Okay. That's going to determine what type of width. You know, because Adobe Animate is a drawing program. Tool sets, options. Ooh, it may be under options. Let's go to options. Oh, there it is. So under options, we got our number of sides. So we need a triangle. So I'm going to go to tool settings, options, and then number of sides 3. If I can do my star point size, you know, that, so if I just left click, it'll drop it. So let me see. Oh, we can do a star or a polygon. So we're just going to leave it at because we just need 3 sides. So we're going to go there. I'm left clicking and holding, and then I release. Whoops, it's not green. What color did I need it? I needed it green. So we're going to come back here to the fill. I'm going to choose green. Right. Nope, that's black. Well, it's because my pencil's colored black. What did we do? There we go. I'm not sure why that changed, but that's okay. We're going to go back here to the selection tool. We're going to click this one. We're going to delete. Now, it deleted only the inside, okay, because my stroke is its own clickable area. Okay, so I just left click there, and because we separated this one by accident somehow, oh, it's like really small. Okay, but to get to it, I've got a magnifying glass so I can zoom in if I need to. I did a right click to see if I could zoom out. Over here somewhere should be, oh, here's my little zoom in and zoom out. So I'm going to, nope, that zooms in and zooms out on my keyframes. We want to zoom in and zoom out on our screen. Here we go up here. So we got to drop down. We're going to say fit in window. Okay, so we can adjust our view right up here. Okay, you got to learn to play with it. Next thing we need is a red circle. So let's go to circle. We want an oval. Okay, we want it to be, we want the fill to be red. We'll do the stroke as being black. Let's change our width. We're going to go to this weird style. We're going to go to this right here. I'm going to left click and hold. I've got an oval. If I hold the shape key, it's going to give me, or shift key, it's going to give me a circle, and drop. Okay, so I got my red circle. Next thing we need is a blue square. So we're going to go to the rectangle tool. We're going to choose the rectangle. We're going to say we need blue. We're going to change our stroke. That's our outline. We're going to change that to, let's do this rainbow color. Okay, and then we're going to change that. We're going to make this a little like that. Let's change our width. Nope, we don't have an option. Okay, so then I'm here, and I said I wanted a square, so I need to hold the Shift key down. Let's make the stroke a little bit wider. Does that do anything? Let's see here. Let's click here. Nope, we're going to select it all, and then we're going to adjust this. There we go. Okay. Now remember, because Adobe Animate is a drawing program, that's why when I changed the features, the properties of this object, that's why it reanimated it. And so it's got a drawing system. And so when I'm here, when I click on there, I have choices down here of how do I want it to be drawn? Do I want it to be straightened? Do I want it to be smooth? You know, what type of options do I want? Okay, so it's like it gives us that ability to change our art style. Okay. All right, so then we got our blue square. Now I just need to type my name. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here to the text tool, to the type tool. Okay, and we're going to left click. Okay, and then it's going to give us our different options for our fonts. You know, I need to be able to read your name, so don't do it in wingdings. So you can choose anything but wingdings. I need to be able to read it, or symbol. You know, so let's go with. I'm going to go with snap. Okay, I'm going to choose my color. I didn't tell you what color to use, I believe, so you can choose. I got my size there and all of that. Okay, so I'm just going to left click and hold once, and then I'm going to type my name. There you go. Okay, then I'm going to choose my tool here. I can resize, and okay, that's just opening up our text box. That's fine. If I want to resize, then I have to go here, but I didn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, so then we're going to open the box up. And let's see if I can get, there we go. So we got it popped, and I'm going to bring it up here, and it's giving me some little lines to help me center it or mark or match it up to look like it was going off of there and off of here to the side. All right, I'm done with that. So now I'm going to export it. File, export. I will need to export an image. It's not animated, so I do not need to export it either as a movie, a video, or an animated GIF. Okay, so I'm just going to export the image. And it should pop up here in a second. Let's see where it's at. Are you slow? Here it comes. There it is. Okay, let's bring it. I'm going to resize a little bit so we can see a little bit better. The name of the file. Hey, it's unnamed. Actually, no, I guess this is our choice. So we're wanted as a ping 8 dithered, so that way it kind of controls some of the coloring. This is 100% view. I can change the view if I need to, you know, look at it. You know, so that's what it's going to look like at 100%. Here's my size and my width. And then I can click save. And then I'm going to save it. It's already got the name that I want to save it as. And then I click save. And there you go. I'm done. And that is Adobe Animate. If you got questions, please ask. Like and subscribe.